What the fuck was that? Okay?
Be kind of dope, right?
This is going to be my review of this sham of a fucking film called Trap. I can't believe I watched this film at this point. I honestly can't understand why this film is as obnoxious as it is. So this is M. Night Shyamalan's latest film, his latest throw into an ocean of bad filmography at this point. But for some reason, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. One last chance to bring us back into the Sixth Sense split sign style films that we all love so much. Did we get his best? Absolutely not. What we got instead was what I consider one of his worst. This is going to be a full-on spoiler review of Trap because, quite honestly, I don't feel like it deserves to not be spoiled. So let's discuss. To start off, to preface my disdain for this film, I must start by saying that I, man in the red hat, am a cop by profession. Okay, in fact, I, man in red hat, am not a normal cop, but a cop who specifically has been attached to a unit in his department for over 6 to 7 years that would do operations eerily similar to the one shown in the film. And it makes my nicely sculpted hiney itch with how brazen and flippant everyone was, including the police in this film. Allow me to explain why this type of operation would never work in a million fucking years in a real setting. So the premise of the film is a man named Cooper, played by Josh Hartnett, is taking his lovely daughter to a concert to see her favorite artist, Lady Raven, who is just a stand-in for Taylor Swift. While there, he notices an obnoxious increase in police before discovering that there's a serial killer on the loose at the concert, and the police have planned this intricate operation to bring said serial killer to his knees. Okay, the operation is basically the police are detaining every man at this concert who matches the description of the serial killer. Let me say that one more time. The police are detaining every man at the concert who matches the description of the serial killer. More on that later. Now, the hook early, probably within 10 minutes of the film, is that you learn that Cooper is the serial killer that they're looking for, and that he currently has a young Asian man trapped in a random basement that he checks on sporadically using the app on his phone. Okay, not a bad hook. I'm in, but the problem is how we get to this piece of information. You see, Cooper is not just a serial killer. Cooper is truth serum. He's walking truth serum. Everyone he meets offers up deeply pertinent info to and for the plot when they normally wouldn't or shouldn't. How does Cooper find out the operation is designed to find him? Oh, well, he just walks up to the t-shirt salesman at the concert with his daughter. And after being polite, the t-shirt salesman pulls him to the side and immediately exposition vomits all over his face with like this zoomed in, claustrophobic ass camera view where you're like 2 inches from the guy's face as he just gives out all the info Cooper needs. This guy Jamie is like, oh my God, yeah, dude, they're looking for this guy called the Butcher. And the police have been putting this operation together for weeks. And they even gave me a super secret passcode that no one would guess or ever say that identifies me as an employee that I'm not supposed to tell anyone. And also, they covered every exit except for the backstage exit. So that's, the only way that anyone could get through without the police knowing. Hey, why don't you, random stranger who is not an employee and I just met 10 seconds ago, why don't you come to the back to help me move boxes to find t-shirts so I can tell you more extremely valuable information that I shouldn't know? Because that's totally a normal thing that always happens at concerts, right, guys? Right? Fantastic. Once they're in the back, Cooper is like, hey, what's the passcode? And the dude's like, oh, the passcode that I'm not supposed to tell anybody about? Oh, it's Ice Spice's album Y2K was amazing. Immediately gives him the passcodes. All right, so now let's pause. All right, let's everybody just pause and talk about this amazing thing in my career field that should be present in almost everybody's career field. It's this thing called OPSEC. Okay, OPSEC, this acronym simply means operational security. It details how almost any organization, including police departments like mine, should protect sensitive information from falling into the wrong hands. At no point would any police department tell random employees not directly tied to the operation, like a private fucking vendor, the intricacies of the information of the operation to include who they're looking for, why they're looking for said person, what they're looking for, and how they plan to find said person. Alright? Why in the fuck, in God's holy fuck, does the guy who works at Annie's Pretzels know all the mission objectives and weak spots of coverage for your operation? But I fucking digress. Let's continue. Cooper finds out they're looking for him. Now he's actively searching for a way out, right? He steals an ID card from the back with the Annie's Pretzels t-shirt guy, and then just walks right into a back room where all of the SWAT police are doing like a pre-mission briefing in the middle of the mission, because that makes sense. At which point he walks past every single SWAT team member. It's like 30 of them in this room, and he matches the description of the person they're looking for, but they just let him slide on by. All right. Now here's why this film annoys me so bad. You see how I said he matches the description of the person they're looking for? Well, let me correct myself. That's a half truth, audience. You see, he matches one of the 15 descriptions of men they're looking for, to include several descriptions of him being a black man between 6 foot and 6'4", a white man with gray hair, a white man with red hair, a white man with an animal tattoo somewhere on his body, etc. This is who played Cooper. So basically, you're telling me that this operation, they don't know what this guy fucking looks like. Like, how probable would it be for me or us as a police organization to come to an event space with over 25,000 people to search for one man when it's not confirmed what he fucking looks like? All right, and expect us to stop and detain over 3,000 men at the location over the course of 2 fucking hours. Not fucking likely at all is what I'll say about that. But for the sake of time, my blood pressure, and this sham of a film, let's continue on. Once inside this super secret mission briefing, he steals a comm mic to listen in on the police. Smart move. Turns back to his seat where he just listens to them stumbling over themselves. Over the radio, we get introduced to the profiler, okay? A woman who's literally just a female version of Dr. Loomis from the Halloween movies. All right, obsessive with an inflated sense of ego and this sort of I know everything about this guy approach to hunting him down when she don't even know what he looked like. No idea. All right, so Cooper steps away from his daughter in the concert again. He's going to be doing this a lot. All right, he does it at least like 5 times. It's hilarious. At which point, while looking for an exit, sets up a distraction, causing a woman to get burned by hot oil, which they don't show because this film is apparently a serial killer thriller film with a fucking PG rating. He steals an apron from the place where they was working at to look like an employee, and then slips upstairs through the exit to the roof where there are more SWAT team officers. Like, the fuck you doing up here? He's terribly acting at this point, by the way. And it's like, oh my God, oh my jing, whoa, my friend got hurt and I needed some fresh air. At which point the SWAT guy asked the OPSEC question, what's the super secret passcode? And Cooper is like, oh, it's Ice Spice's album Y2K, it's super amazing. And to which point the SWAT guy was like, okay, show me the card we gave you guys to give us as well. Hold on, guys, wait a second. Do you hear that? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Captain Convenient, because Cooper doesn't have the card, but the apron he stole just so happened to have an entire wallet inside of it with the card inside. How does he know what the card even looks like? He guesses. All right, cool. So this interaction is over. Absolutely not. You see, Cooper then activates the truth serum ability. All right, and it's like, hey, SWAT guy, who's the person in charge of this operation? At which point the SWAT guy looks at the random fucking stranger he just met no less than 20 seconds ago and immediately gives the profiler's name, her occupation, her address, and is like, yeah, she's been working on getting this guy to butcher for months, and we finally got him boxed in. She's the best in the business. Nigga, what? What is this movie? With all the info he needs, goes back to the concert, finesses himself and his daughter into getting backstage to perform with Lady Raven as her biggest fan of the night, whatever. At which point this movie goes from just stupid to just actively calling the audience stupid for indulging themselves into even watching this tragedy of a film. Okay, so while backstage, standing around, he pulls Lady Raven to the side, who apparently has no entourage or anything. Is just a celebrity standing on her own, girl power, but he pulls her to the side and immediately explains like he's the serial killer they're all looking for at the concert, provides her proof by showing her the dude trapped in the random basement on his phone, then says he needs Lady Raven to take him and his daughter outside the barricade in her vehicle so they can leave the police barricade, or he's going to kill the guy in the random basement. All right, they're playing chicken at this point. Your life for the guy in the basement's life. All right, please remember that I keep saying random basement, by the way. More on that later. Lady Raven agrees and whisks them away in a limousine. And they exit the barricade, go 1 block down the road. Cooper is like, thanks for riding us out. We'll get out at this corner, and prepares to exit. Now, given the two options, audience, of A, allow the confirmed serial killer to exit your vehicle and immediately call one of the 1 million police officers 1 block away and scream he's the butcher, get him. Or, second option, asked to go to the serial killer's home. Which option do you think Lady Raven picked? Lady Raven, with no weapon, no entourage, just a limo driver in a dream. Which option do you think she picked? So bam, now we're at Cooper's house, okay? And Lady Raven is inside the house. They're having shepherd's pie with the serial killer's family. Plan? Absolutely none. It culminates with her stealing Cooper's phone, running into the bathroom, screaming that Cooper is the butcher, therefore endangering Cooper's entire family, and then talking to the guy who was being captured in the basement. And she's like, do you remember anything? And he's like, oh my God, it's so hard to remember, but I remember a blue door, and I also remember a lion statue, broken lion statue. All right. Whole time Cooper is outside this door losing his shit. My question of the day is, what kind of screws was on that door? What kind of hinges was on that door? Because later on, Cooper is a superhero. All right. I'm going to show you that in a second, but Cooper is a superhero. A door shouldn't be able to stop Cooper. All right. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, moving on. What is that you hear, guys? Do you hear it again? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Captain Convenient making a return trip, because Lady Raven, while in the bathroom, hops on IG Live and is like, hey guys, anyone in Philadelphia stay near a house with a blue door and a lion statue? And almost immediately, several people are like, I know exactly what house that is you're talking about. That's next door. I know that house. That's my neighbor's house. Let me get right on over there and save that poor Asian boy's life. All right. This is a thing that happened in this film. Bam. All of this happens within 1 to 2 minutes, okay? Cooper opens up the door immediately after she gets off of her IG Live. She says, y'all please save the dude, all right? Cooper creaks the door open. He's like, give me the phone. She gives him the phone. He then looks at his phone. He checks to see if the dude is in the basement. The chains have been unshackled. He is free. They arrived at this random house, saved him, unshackled the locks in under 30 seconds. I hate this film. I wish I was over exaggerating. I really do wish I was. So let's move on. Cooper explains his dastardly deeds to Lady Raven while he forces her back into his wife's car. Next, the bizarre. Lady Raven begins to speak as if she's his mother, randomly. Why does she do this? Because apparently, off screen, the profiler sat her down and gave her the full lowdown on the serial killer, including his triggers. Because that's fucking reasonable. That's something everybody does when you're in charge of a case. You tell the random celebrity all of the intricacies of your case. Because that's just something you do. Right, guys? Right? Where is Cooper's family while all this is going on? Oh, why? Just waiting outside the house confused because they have nothing to do. While talking to his family from the car in the garage, Lady Raven then pop and locks slowly out the passenger seat of the car, right? Before alerting the police, who immediately show up. They surround the house. End of the movie. Psych. Because you see, Cooper is wily. And he's apparently built an escape hatch inside the house, okay? And it leads from his house to his neighbor's yards, unbeknownst to all parties involved. And he escapes. He then switches to a SWAT team uniform he already had ready. Because why not? Pretends to be Lady Raven's limo driver and then drives away with her inside the vehicle. What happened to the limo driver? Moving on. This culminates with Lady Raven getting the crowd's attention to draw her away from the butcher, and escape from the limo, right? Then the SWAT team surround the limo and they shouting at Cooper while he's in the front seat, all right? Eventually, they're like, bump all this, we're gonna start shooting. They start shooting into the limo. But you see, our guy Cooper is a wily guy, and he's apparently switched out of the heavy-ass cop gear that SWAT team members wear into civvies, into civilian clothes, and he's got out there at the speed of light without anyone noticing. He's literally standing in the crowd like this and watching as they shoot the empty car. And that's the last we see of Lady Raven, thank God. So bam, we're back at home with Cooper's wife, where he pops up like Jason Bourne in their dining room, and the final twist is explained, if you want to call it that. You see, the wife knew this whole time that Cooper was the butcher and she was the person who set him up, notified the police department that he would be at the concert with his daughter. Cooper is informed of all of this while he's eating shepherd's pie before he plans to kill her, I guess. Cooper then discovered that she put 10 Tylenols in the pie, and now he's woozy. Now, let's pause for a second. Why would the mother, after having confirmed that her husband is a fucking serial killer, leave him alone with her child out of her line of sight, much less a fucking concert? No clue, man in the red hat. We were just watching a movie like you were. Cool. This ends with the police coming in and tasing a drugged up Cooper, who's fighting off the taser like that Jim Carrey scene in Ace Ventura 2 when he got hit by 20 darts in the jungle. He even tried to dig an officer's eyes out before the final taser shot by the profiler, who finally puts him down. So fucking terrible. All right, he then automatically is no longer drugged, shirt on, because at the time of all this fighting, his shirt had got ripped off. Shirt on now, because that's what cops would do after detaining a serial killer. We'd be like, come on, guys, let's put a shirt on. Absolutely not. He's cuffed to the front because movies, why not? And as they exit, they allow the serial killer not only to embrace his daughter one last time, they top it off by allowing him to walk over to a bike, all right, and adjust it before putting the serial killer in the back of the van, alone, with no supervision and no cameras, all right? So it's revealed that while adjusting the bike, Cooper broke off a spoke of the wheel and used it, and he's using it in the back of the truck to break the handcuffs free, giving us that good old-fashioned sequel bait that we all want so bad. Because that's what you guys want, right? Trapped 2, right? That's what you want. This movie was shite, okay? Offensive to my eyes. Therefore, I'm going to give this 2 out of 10 red hats. It's not thrilling. The hook only works for the first 20 to 25 minutes of the film when they're inside the concert. Once they leave the concert, the movie becomes almost unwatchable because Lady Raven becomes a major focus, and her acting is just... it's not amazing. Let's just say that. This is one of those Nepo hires that I understand it. She's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. But she probably could have gotten someone else. I will say that M. Night has burned through all goodwill in my household. I'm more inclined to expect stupid shit like this than the glory days. I feel so much better now having gotten this off my chest. Feel like I exorcised a demon. Anyway, that was my spoiler review of Trap. Did you see it? What's your favorite Shyamalan movie? Mine is probably Split and Unbreakable. I think those are pretty up there. But I would love to hear yours. And if you made it this far, feel free to give me a like and a follow. Peace.